If you're one of the more than 169,000 people living with metastatic breast cancer in the United States, particularly breast cancer that has spread to the bones, you may be concerned about how to exercise safely. Although exercise will look a little different for each person, research shows that exercise is safe for people with metastatic disease, and the benefits of moving outweigh the risks of being sedentary. This workout addresses some of the concerns people with metastatic disease have discussed with me. It's important to note that it may take several weeks to see the benefits of exercise if you are on active treatment. And it's important to continue exercising to maintain these benefits. So finding the right level of exercise that you can do long-term is crucial. If you're living with metastatic disease, your treatment cycle will probably affect how you feel. It's important to balance your energy. You want to push yourself during the workouts, but still leave some gas in your energy tank for later. I want you to leave every workout feeling like you have some energy left over. This will help you to recover more quickly. This workout is particularly helpful for people living with metastatic cancer, but it's also a great workout for anyone recovering from treatment, new to exercise, or even just having a low energy day. I'll demonstrate each movement today using dumbbells, but I encourage you to start with your body weight or grab a small set of soup cans or anything you have around the house to get started. All right, let's go. All right, for today's workout, we are going to do a series of exercises that help build our strength and our endurance if you are living with advanced cancer, specifically cancer to the bone. So one of the biggest things I want you to think about is everybody is going to feel a little different if they have bone metastasis. They may feel that there's certain aches and pains that are normal parts of your day. When you're doing today's workout, I want you to focus first and foremost on posture, followed by form. I will demonstrate all of these exercises showing small hand weights, but if you're not sure what kind of weight you should choose or you're just getting started, just use your body weight. I assure you, you will still receive a huge benefit. I will show some options of both standing and seating. Always know that default goes right down to that seated position. All right, for today's workout, we will do exercise movements for 45 seconds of effort. Pause if you need to, but do your best to try to come back in and finish out those 45 seconds. We'll take 15 seconds to transition into the next movement and get set up properly. We will do these exercises for 3 total rounds. Do your best to do all rounds with us, but if you don't feel comfortable doing all of them, try to do at least 1 today or 2, and then come back and use this workout to build your strength and endurance. All right, we are going to go ahead and get started. All right, so first thing that we're going to do is we're going to stand or sit, and I'm going to do this in a chest press exercise, pulling my shoulders back. Here we go. I'm going to press my arms out and in, and out and in. This is actually a version of kind of a push-up, but because I'm doing it in a standing position or a seated position, I'm utilizing my core in that upright, good posture position. So this is a great way to strengthen all of the muscles of the back and chest. It should feel a little hard when you put those arms out. Feels a little easy pulling those arms back in. You don't have to fully extend, but it really does engage all of those muscles if you do reach all the way to straight. All right, 10 seconds. Almost there. Nice. Okay, the second exercise, I'm going to grab both of my dumbbells. You can use anything that you have on hand. Just use your hands. I'm going to stand with my feet shoulder width apart, my toes pointing forward, and I'm going to take a baby squat position, dipping my hips back and keeping my chest up. All right, try that with me. If you're not sure about your balance, you can go ahead and stand in front of a chair, a stool, whatever feels good to you, just so you feel comfortable in getting that range of motion. Make sure that you look forward and not down. Try to stand all the way up and squeeze your booty. Good. Nice work. If you need to, pause in the top position, let your muscles rest, and then join me when you can. Good. Last one. And relax. Okay. I'm going to put my weights off onto my stool, and I'm going to be using this stool for the next exercise. So this is going to be a glute or booty kickback. I'm going to get in a mini plank position, and I'm basically going to think about kicking my heel to the back wall behind me. Join me if you can. Opposite side, working my core and also these back muscles. Often when we have to sit for long periods of time because we don't feel well or we're undergoing treatment, the muscles of our hips and back just get weak because they just aren't being used on a regular basis. This is a great exercise to strengthen those muscles and improve your core. If you feel anything in your low back and shoulders, simply just stand up, pause, shake up those shoulders, and join me when you can. Remember, we have 3 rounds today to try all of these exercises. Good work. Okay, now we're going to do a crunch position. So I'm going to sit on my stool or my chair, then move my weight. And we're actually going to do a seated crunch, starting with the legs first, and then we're going to add the upper body. So I'm going to put my hands just behind my head, but you can cross them over. I'm going to bring one leg up, twisting my elbow and shoulder over to that opposite knee, and setting that back down. You can also try this standing if you want to. It's a little more challenging. It also improves your balance. You don't have to crunch super far, but you want to try to fold the hips just slightly. Make sure every time you set that foot down, you return that torso all the way to straight, pulling those abs in, belly button tight. Almost there. And rest. Okay, the next exercise we're going to do is to continue in the core. I'm going to set my weight between just so you can see a visual. But we're going to basically lift one leg up and bring it over to the opposite side and then bring it back and switch, almost like making an app. Here we go. I'm going to lift over and back, opposite side, lifting over and back. So this you'll feel in your hip flexors and your abs. It is great for posture. You can also do this standing if you want to. You don't actually have to do this with a dumbbell or anything on the ground. It's just a nice indicator, making sure I'm lifting my leg up just a little bit higher. Work, everybody. Just 5 seconds, and then we repeat from the top. And rest. Okay, I'm going back to that chest press. Reaching to grab my weight. I'm going to do this standing again, depending on how you're feeling. Go ahead and feel free to stay seated, picking up weight or just using your body weight. Checking that posture first. Belly button is tight, and we're beginning. So if you want to make this a little bit more challenging for the abs or the arms, pause with those arms extended for a moment, just creating a different resistance. If you're having a hard time getting those arms all the way to straight, go about halfway and then bring them back in. Remember, posture is the most important thing, so let's not let that posture slack. Pause and reset as needed. Almost there, see if you can keep going with me. If not, go and take a rest and then join me in the next exercise. All right, we're moving to that deadlift. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my second weight, standing with my feet shoulder width apart, toes pointed forward. Again, checking that posture, putting the weight in the heels by lifting my toes. And now I'm going to begin by dipping my hips slightly back, looking forward, and then coming all the way up to the top. Although this feels like a lower body exercise, this is a great exercise for all of the muscles of the back, the shoulders, and the core. To make this a little bit more challenging, try to go slightly lower or pick up your tempo. If you want to make this a little easier, don't sit as far back. Make sure you drop those weights and just do body weight. Almost there, everybody. and rest. All right, we're going to that good kickback. So this is the one where I'm going to get into that kind of partial plank position on my bench. Remember, I'm on straight arms. You're welcome to do this elbows if you want to, whatever feels good for your back and spine. Okay, here we go. Kind of kicking that heel behind me. Some people call this a donkey kick, but it doesn't have to be fast. We're just lifting, extending that leg behind us. One of the key things here is to keep that spine straight, which requires work on the abdominals as well as the arms. So remember, pause if you feel that form go. Just join me in as soon as you can. Almost everybody. Nice job. And rest. Okay, we're back to that seated crunch or standing crunch. I'm going to demonstrate this in a standing position for this round if you want to try this with me. If not, we're back to our seated position. I assure you, both of them are challenging, so it's whatever feels good for you. So I'm putting my arms up and bringing my knee and back down. Standing does require just a little bit more balance. However, I think seated is actually a little harder in the legs. Standing gives our legs a little bit of a break. If you want to make this a little more challenging, try to reach a little closer to that knee, but you certainly don't have to. Almost there, everybody. Nice job. And rest. All right, so I'm gonna do the same thing with the up and over. I'm gonna go ahead and do this in a standing position. I'm gonna go ahead and make sure that my dumbbell is actually in a straight position. I'm gonna stand off to the side this time. And here we go, standing up with a tall core, reaching it over. This time I'm bringing the opposite foot over with me, and I'm actually coming both sides. And again, you could do this seated, you can do this standing, you could do it a combination of standing and use your hand on a chair or wall, whatever you want to do, focusing on that forward posture first. Nice work, everybody. Almost there. Good. And rest. All right, just one more round. Even if you're feeling tired, see if you can join me for just 15 or 20 seconds of each movement, using the rest of the time to break. If you're feeling good, let's try the whole 45 seconds. So I'm picking up my weight, I'm going back to my chest press, checking my posture, and begin. Remember, if you're feeling any uncomfortable aches or pains, new areas, make sure that you set that weight down, pause, sit, recheck your form, join if you can. If not, we'll pick it up on another day. 20 seconds. Almost there. Definitely feeling those arms and abs. Nice job. And rest. All right, going back to that deadlift. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick up both weights. Resetting my form and my posture, shoulders back, weight in the heels. Try to pick up those toes if you can. And remember, even if you want to do this with body weight, you're still doing fantastic. Just do your best. Goal is to leave a little bit of gas in the tank, so I encourage you to maybe shorten the duration that you worked with this today. Sit down when you need to, press pause, come back in, whatever feels good to you. Don't forget that forearm, stand all the way up, squeeze the booty muscles. Almost there. Good
job. Resting with those. All right, last time on the glute exercise. So I'm getting back to my bench or my stool. You need to take a break on your low back. You can also do this more elevated, such as a countertop. It's whatever you have available to you, and begin. Another way to change the intensity of this movement is simply hold that foot up just a little bit longer behind you, making those muscles engage, and then lowering it down slowly. Again, a lot of things you can do just with body weight. Nice work. Almost everybody, we're so close. You got it. Beautiful. All right, we're just gonna finish with those core exercises. So I'm gonna go back to that seated crunch. Definitely feel a little bit more tired. Make sure my dumbbells are completely out of the way. Checking my posture. Grab a drink of water if you need to. 1 or 2 minutes, but definitely go your tempo and intensity. Also notice that if your arms are getting tired, simply just bring them by your sides using your torso and your legs. You also may notice that your shoulders are a little tight. So just take those arms out of it if they aren't comfortable. Almost there. You got it. And rest. All right, we're doing our last one, up and over. I'm gonna go ahead and bring that dumbbell up in so you can see it. I don't think we realize how much seated exercises can be really muscularly challenging, but also help us manage our energy. So they're a great addition. All right, here we go. Last time, up and over. Reaching my hips, bringing that knee up and over. You want to make this a little bit more challenging. Try to pick up that knee just a little bit higher. Probably feel this right into that hip crease. Definitely working those lower abdominal muscles. You can press your hands into your chair if you need to. Good work, everybody. You're almost there. Keep going if you can. And rest. Great job, everybody. I hope you were able to find the right intensity, tempo, and duration for your workout today. It's really important that you stay hydrated and make sure that you get in some nutritious meals after your workout. If you wake up tomorrow feeling a little bit stiff, I encourage you to do something light, especially taking a walk inside or outside, whatever feels good to you, and then try it again when you're feeling backed, ready to do strength. Thanks so much, and we'll see you next time.